Погода вроде налаживается. Это новозеландский город Нейпир. Будучи 20-е годы разрушен в ходе землетрясения, он был отстроен в стиле ар-деко и является сегодня одним из уникальных памятников этого стиля. А это пока только набережная.
Export out of the port of Neipir for many decades. In fact, probably until after the Second World War, was wool. They moved their cellar door and their administrative aspect up into the old seminary building. But it's still owned 100% by the Society of Mary today, and is a very important cornerstone not only of the Hawke's Bay history, but the history of the New Zealand wine industry, because this is where it started. So, welcome folks to the mission. We're a pretty young country, so anything from the 1850s is pretty old as far as we're concerned. So these are English plane trees, and they're quite unusual, although you do see them in a lot of the building of schools by the Marist order in the South Pacific, and also towards the costs of the remaining Catholic seminary in New Zealand, which is in Auckland.
Это скульптура, сделанная из погибшего дерева. Местным зеркалом.
Over the Tutaikuri River, and this is a classic example, although it's got a bit more water and the colour's a bit dodgy because of all the rain we've had here the last few days. But this is normally a shallow, shingly river, believe it or not, and that'll take about 2 or 3 days to clear that colour and get back to clear water. The two figures looking out onto the golf course to our left is in fact Hugh's representation of his great-great-grandfather Tarihata Mananui, who started this course. And Hugh's being very careful. Those of you with keen eyes will note that Hugh is partway through carving a full facial moko or tattoo on the image of his great-great-grandfather. And those mokos were absolutely individual to each person. They told about the whaka. this is the rather declining Albert Hotel on the right. That's the oldest building in Hastings, but I don't know that it will be for much longer. Again, lots of examples of all sorts of diamonds and zigzags and sunbursts, etc. Like Neipier, most of the Art Deco buildings from the 30s only built to 2 stories. They were all authorised to go to 4, but they never did. And I think it gives the old buildings that when there's block after block of them, gives the town quite an intimate feel. You see an Art Deco on the right there with those columns going up to a ziggurat at the top, and then again on the right here, the beautiful old municipal buildings where the council used to be here in Hastings. Now as we go, I'm going to go straight through this roundabout, but if you have a look down the street to the right, you'll see firstly across the road the old Methodist church, which is a very minimalist style of Spanish mission, and then as we get halfway through the roundabout, if you have a look to the right, again you'll see the old Hawke's Bay Opera House back over there, which is a very over-the-top style of Spanish mission. You can just about imagine Zorro jumping off that balcony onto his horse. More Spanish mission through here with the Sacred Heart Church. This lovely little church on the corner here on the right is a great example of the more diverse ethnic makeup of Hastings. That was built as a Presbyterian church in about 1910, but has for the last 10 years been a Greek Orthodox church. We get a lot of people from all sorts of countries coming in here, mainly because of the fruit picking. If you're in your private cars or in a van, you can get up to the top of Tomato Peak with views all around Hawke's Bay, and also they do a lot of paragliding. They're just stepping off the top of there. Folks, anyone would like to take a photo can jump out and do so. We'll just be here for 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll be on our way.
They were built for a wealthy English gentleman who had 6 daughters, and he built them a house each. And at that stage, the waterfront was literally on the other side of the footpath, on the left-hand side here. And they are known commonly around town as the 6 Sisters. And after the earthquake, they brought all the debris from the city up and they put it on the seaward side of the wall that was there, and that's what built up the foreshore to what it is today. But before there was a wall, and I'll show you further along, which protected Gentlemen's Club. And directly on the other side of the footpath, you'll see the sea wall, which was originally built to protect the city. And I'm told the drop on the other side of that used to be 2 to 3 metres. So that was a lot of debris from the city to build that up. That wall was built around about 1890 by convicts who lived in a prison on the Snecks Road turning off to our left. And they mined the limestone rock out of the cliff beside the prison. And it was round about the same time that the Norfolk pines, which are a real feature of Neipir,